Welcome back to SwiftCAD Code Factory. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make a table view with a checkbox button. So it means like when you click on a table view cell, it will be showing a checkbox whether it is checked or unchecked. That's what it means. So you can see a lot of stuffs you can in online that with a table view the checkbox is coming, but this video is quite different. It's nothing but it's very easy and very quickly we can make it. It's table view with a checkbox. Okay, let's start the project. So I'm going to start with a new project with a single view application, and I'm going to name it as checkbox table view. So it's checkbox table view. I'm going to create a project. You can save your project wherever you like. If you're having a project already, then it's fine. So okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file, which is a Swift file, and I'm going to name it as checkbox button. This is nothing but a Swift file for UI button. So this is a Swift file which I have created right now. So I'm going to create here a class for my checkbox button. So it's a checkbox button, which is of type UI button, and let's import UI kit with it. Alright, so this is the class which I have created right now. So before that I will go to my assets folder, and I have here two button images. As you can see here on my right, it's a checkbox. Yeah, it's a checkbox with tick mark and checkbox unchecked. It's nothing, it's unchecked box. So I'm going to use these two images assets into my project. So I'm just going to click and drag those two images. So as you can see, it's checkbox checked, checkbox unchecked. I'm going to back to my Swift file. Okay, so let's make a constant for check images. So let's say checked image equal to UI image of named I have here name checked box image name as checkbox checked. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to use it here, the name of the image which I'm using, and as it's a UI image. So this is for a checked image, and I'm going to write a let constant for unchecked image as well. Unchecked image which is having checkbox unchecked. That's the name of the image which I am using. Okay, as UI image. These are two variables. Then I'm going to type for var constant, which is for a bool function. I'm going to use a bool function to check whether the buttons is checked or not. That's why. So is checked, which is of type bool equal to false, and say did set if is checked is equal to true. I'm going to type self dot set image of type unchecked image for normal. This is for if checked, and if it's not, I'm going to write it here as self dot set image of type checked image of type normal. All right, so, and again I'm going to write button click function. It's called button click function call, right, at the rate c func button clicked. It's a UI button, so it's a sender with UI button. Okay, yeah. If sender equal to self, if is checked is equal to true. If the check is true, that's what it means. And this if is checked, sorry, is checked equal to false, else is checked will be as true. The logic behind this I'm going to explain at the end, and before that I have one more code to write, which is for override func to nib function. So it's override func awake from nib. This is called self dot is user interaction enabled. I'm going to say is as true for a while. If you don't want the user to click on the particular button, you can set it as false, but here I'm using it as true. Add target which is of self, and action I'm going to write as selector of checkbox button dot, which is button click for state UI control dot even dot touch up inside, and self dot is checked, let it say as false. That's all in my checkbox button dot swift file. So let's go to my main dot storyboard. I'm going to bring a table view in my view controller. So I'm going to my attribute inspector and checking for a table view. Yeah, I got here my table view. I'm going to drag it in my view controller .zip file in my storyboard actually, and I'm going to bring my cell as well for the table view. Alright, that's it. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click and drag for the data source, and we can do in, if we click shift, we can do at the same time. All right, so I'm going to create a new one more file which is for my Tableview cells. So I'm going to here type my close as touch Cocoa Touch, and let's make the name as cell UI Tableview cell. Okay, that's it, and create next, and great, that's it. So I'm going to my storyboard back again, and I'm going to click over my Tableview cell and change my class to cell, and let's store the storyboard ID as reusable identifier as the name cell. Okay, make sure you did this one. All right, and then what I'm going to do is click over here and go to here, and automatically I need to bring my cell. All right, let's make more space. All right, okay, so I have here is my cell. So I made the class over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a label over here, drag it, all right, and I'm going to create an outlet for this. So I'll name it as label water. You can name whatever you like, and I'm going to bring here a button as well. So UI button, and I'm dragging in front of this UI label. Make more space for button. Okay, so I'm going to here, and by clicking in the button, go to your class and change to checkbox button, the class which we have created the first. So I have changed my button class to checkbox button, and remove this button label from there. It will be fine. And then I need to create an IB outlet for my button as well. So I'm going to click here and name it as checkbox button. So this is my checkbox button, which is of class checkbox button. So that's in our table view cell. Then we will go back to our view controller, and what I'm going to do is, first of all, I will create an IB outlet for my table view, and next I'm going to create a var constant. I will make more space one second, so it'll be easier for you to see the screen properly. So I'm going to here a var constant, which is called var rows which are checked, that is of ns index type. And then I'm going to bring over here is UI table view delegate and UI table view data source. Alright, so as soon as I click there, there will be a warning coming. That's for protocol functions which we need to call. So just click on that one and just copy it and place it over here. Remove this. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a var of array which I need to present in my table view. So let's say var array list equal to, I'm going to write iPhone 5. iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone. That's a array which I'm creating actually. If you have some other stuffs in your table view or array of account, you can show it as it is. Now I am iPhone. That's 7, iPhone XR. Okay, so number of rows which I need to create here is then what I'm going to do here is number of cells. Let me say return the array list dot count, and inside the view.load load, what I'm going to do is self dot table view dot delegate is equal to self, and self dot, either you can do it there or else it's not necessary, but for my convenience I'm doing this. Right, and then next one is self dot table view dot allows multiple selection. I'm going to click it as true, otherwise if you click after the one cell, it won't allow you to click the next cell. So in order to make it multiple selection in our table view, I have written self dot table view dot allows multiple selection as true. All right, so the next section is cell for row at, which is for we need to count for the cell and all the stuffs. For that, I'm going to make the table view height as 50, and let's say let cell equal to table view dot dq reducible cell with identifier for index. So with identifier, as you know, this is the name cell which have created in my this Swift file, and as cell, that make it clear, I guess. There should be a return function when we create cell. Okay, return cell, and then cell dot label dot text. That the text label is the name which I have given in my table view, as you know. So it's equal to self dot array list of index path dot row and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a let constant uses of is row checked. I have, and the table cell need to know if the rows are checked or not. That's the thing actually. So suppose if we have checked and you're coming again into your table view, it will be checking whether if it contains the box checked, it will remain, it need to be reset it again for the user to click it again. That's why. So in order to that, in this case here, it's gonna check whether the table view cells are checked or not. If it's unchecked, it will leave as it is. If it's checked, it will make it as unchecked. That's what it's doing over here. Contains index path as index, and let's say if is raw checked is equal to true. So in such case, what is going to happen is cell dot checkbox button dot is checked. Let it say true, and cell dot checkbox button dot button click by the center. Here the center is cell dot checkbox button itself. Okay, and then if it's else case, I'm going to write the above codes. Cell dot checkbox button dot is checked is equal to false, and cell dot checkbox button dot button clicked by the sender cell dot checkbox button. So this is for a case cell for row at, and next I'm going to type it for a function called for table view did select row at index. That's what I'm going to do right now. So did select, let first of all I'm going to write tell cell is equal to table view cell dot cell for row at index path as index path and as cell. Then cell dot content view dot background color is equal to UI color dot white. So you may be wondering why I'm writing this code, cell dot content view dot background color as UI color. Is it because have you noticed that when you run your table view, and if you click on any of the cells, it will be having a dark ash color or a ash background will be appearing when you click on the cell. So I don't want that my cell to be ash color when it get clicked. I want it to be a white as it is. That's why I have used this called cell dot content view dot background color is equal to UI color with white. Okay, so let's cross some checking for checked rows. So this is what I'm going to write it over here. So suppose say if I'm going to write a condition over here, rows which are checked dot contains of element. So here I have element like index path, my index path as index path. Let it say if the condition is to be false, what happens if the rows contains index path which is of checked or unchecked. So that's what happens in a did select view for a table view. And I'm going to write it here as cell dot checkbox button dot is checked, and make it as true. So if the true condition goes, the button will be on the checkbox button will appear, and if the condition is set to be false, this unchecked image will be appear into our table view. That's what happens in this line of code. Okay, so button click by the sender called, which is cell dot checkbox button. It says of exclamation mark as index path, as index path. Sorry, yeah, this makes sense. All right, this is for func table view did select row at, and next one I'm going to write is for func table view for did deselect. What happens if I want to deselect the cell? So let's same line, let's check the same place of code here. You don't need to type the same code again and again. You can make it as a globally you can call it, but in case of table view, you need to be careful. There are few stuffs you should keep in mind when you do that stuff. Okay, so cell dot checkbox button is checked, let it say it's a false condition satisfies over here. So what happens here is if the cell is checked and if the user is checking that box again, so I mean if it clicks the disable cell again, the button, this condition is getting into false, so it will go the image which is having unchecked in this condition. That's what happens here. Okay, so cell dot checkbox button, and in order to remove, if I want to remove the index from the rows which are selected, that's what index path from rows which are clicked. So here what I'm going to do is if let check index checked item index, let it say like that. So rows which are checked dot first index of index path as ns index path, and here let it say rows which are checked dot remove at check item index. That's it. So that's all from the code, and what we are going to do is that's all we have to write here for table view in order to show a checkbox into our table view. So checkbox button is the button which we call from label which we have named over here, and this button click is the function which we have called for UI button, but to check the condition whether it's checked true or false. If it's checked true, and unchecked image and checked image will be formed as checked image. If it's checked, sorry, it should be checked image here, and unchecked image should come here. Unchecked image for let's run and check if it's right or not for being time. Okay, the thing don't mix up with the previous one. if the var is checked bool false, set image as unchecked image for normal, and self.set image checked image for normal, and self.rTarget, which is called selector with the checkbox button, which is of a button click for dot touch up inside. You can just remove that event and you control and just keep a dot touch up inside. And if you run the project, this is what we are going to get at the end. So these are the list of arrays, and this is my checkbox which I have listed here. And if I'm going to click any of them, you can see it's allowing like a multiple site selections, and if I want to remove as well, you can remove it from our table view. Yeah, so this is of table view. Inside that we have a UI button which is which can be checked and unchecked, and it shows correctly perfect, and this you can use in your project as well. And that's all in this video. Thanks for watching, and I have uploaded with a source code as well. You can go to the description and find out all the description and for the source codes. And that's all, and thanks for watching this video tutorial. Thank you, then see you then for the next video. See you, bye.